This little black thing, it's a magnet, costs a few cents. In May last year, Ford shut down a factory because they ran out of these. Not chips, not steel, magnets. The Explorer line in Chicago stopped. Their CEO said they were living hand to mouth, day to day. Here is a number that explains it. 94% of the world's permanent magnets are made in one country, China. That is the International Energy Agency. Their report this year. 20 years ago it was 50%, now it is 94%. And there is the date coming, November 10th. I am going to tell you what that date is and how to find out in one afternoon if it touches your product. If this is useful, subscribe. I genuinely put these together for people who buy things for a living. You are probably wondering why a magnet stops a car factory. Because it is not a magnet. It is the power seats, the wipers, the brakes, the steering, the fuel injectors. A modern car has these things hidden everywhere. Small motors, every small motor needs one. And here is the part that catches people. Ford does not buy magnets. Ford buys a seat. The seat maker buys a motor. The motor maker buys a magnet. 3 floors down from you. That is where it lives. Now, watch how this actually works. First, China mines about 60% of these metals. That part everybody knows. China refines 91% of them. That is the real number. Then China makes 94% of the finished magnets. So it is not the mine, it is the middle, the refining and the making. You can dig a rock out of the ground in Australia. You still have to send it somewhere to become a magnet. If this is landing, hit like. Honestly, it is the only reason this reach anybody. Here is what is happening while we speak. The metal that goes into this, Neodymium, 1st of July, $145 a kilo, up almost 20% in 1 month. Dysprosium, the one that keeps a magnet working when a motor gets hot, up about 100% this year. And the magnet shipment to America in the first 6 months of this year ran about 20% below where they were before all this started. That is Bloomberg reading a customs data 3 days ago. So less coming out and more expensive at the same time. Now the date. Last October, China announced a wider set of export rules. Then in November, they paused them for 1 year. That pause ends November 10th. If it lapses, the wider rules come back and they reach products made outside China that contains Chinese material. If it gets renegotiated, nothing happens and everybody forgets. Nobody knows which way it breaks. I do not know either. But here is the thing people miss. There is a second set of rules from April last year. 7 elements, those were never paused. They are running right now. Yttrium going to America went from 333 tons to 17. Same 8 months window, before and after. My read after 25 years on these floors, this is not a ban, it never was. It's a license, which means it is not about whether you can get them, it is about who gets them first and how long you wait. A license takes about 45 days on paper, 2 to 4 months in real life. That is the whole story. Allocation, not absence. So, 3 things this week. 1. Open your part list and find every small motors, seats, pumps, fans, sensors, actuators, anything that spins. 2. Ask your supplier one question in writing. Does these magnets contain dysprosium or terbium? Yes or no? If they cannot answer in writing, that is your answer. 3. Price a second source now while you are not desperate. A code you do not use costs nothing. A line that stops costs everything. And because you are one of my viewers, 7 days of full pro access free, 100% linked below. One last thing, and I mean this sincerely. If you buy a part for a living, subscribe. Next Thursday, I am going to into the other half of this story. So that is it. 94% from one country, a date on the calendar, and a rule from last April that never stopped running. Find your motors, ask the written question, price the second source. The full written report with every source is on the site linked below. Now I want to know, do you actually know what is inside the motor in your product? Yes or no? Tell me below. See you Thursday from Shanghai.